Sarah and Kevin here down at Market Wines. We're super excited because we've got a brand new producer in our store.
We do. I'm going to spice up your life a little bit today. You knew that was coming. Okay,
I didn't know what was coming.
Let's start at the beginning. Okay, so we got a brand new producer in Germany. Is it SPIESS or is it SPIESS?
I say SPIESS.
I think SPIESS is right. It's more fun if it was Spice, because then I was going to make Spice Girl jokes.
There's
and
so
I
many
have all
jokes
kinds of
we could
material
make.
lined up that I'm not going to be able to use now. So I guess it's SPIESS. All right, so what do we got? We got a couple of Rieslings, and then we've got some Pinot Noir. So this is pretty exciting. Last week we did Beaujolais, which was amazing, because that's something I love drinking. And now we're doing Riesling, which is the other thing I love drinking in the summer. So talk to us about SPIESS.
Yeah, so what I think is super fun about us pouring Riesling is, as we all know, Riesling kind of has a bad rap for being sickeningly sweet. No one wants to drink it anymore. But it's some of our favorite wines and some of the best value wines you can actually buy.
Yeah, I think because you're quite a bit younger than I am, I grew up in a time when Riesling really got its bad name, right? So my introduction to Riesling was like a box of Hochtaler sitting on my parents' fridge, right? That I used to steal. I think that was the first wine I ever tasted, was stealing Hochtaler. I hope my mom's not watching.
Yeah.
Off the top of the fridge.
You have to replace that.
We used to get these really sweet Liefermilches and these terrible German wines that really were the bottom of the bucket back then. But today, it's a completely different story. And you kind of grew up in a time when Riesling was more or less always exciting.
I'm pretty lucky.
Yeah. So I think younger wine drinkers really know Riesling not as these sweet wines that we really had a disdain for, but like super exciting, affordable, interesting wines. What I love about Riesling is that we can drink vineyard-specific wines, because I always like to be able to point my finger on the map and say, like, the wine I'm drinking is from right here, because that makes it a little more fun. And then you get things that represent that exact place and time. And I love to do it with French wines, but it's a lot more expensive.
Exactly. These are very affordable.
Absolutely. And I love the way this one smells. Do you want to just compare them both, or you want to talk about the first one first, or what do you want to do here?
Yeah, I think we should compare them side by side.
Okay.
So we're doing...
I'm going to need 2 drinks then.
You're good at that.
Perfect. I'm really good at that.
That's a little bit more comfortable for you.
Yeah, better balance.
So the SPIESS family, they've been farming for over 500 years, originally farming livestock. Until the current generation, the parents of Christian and Johanna Spiess, decided they want to start growing grapes. So thank goodness, because these wines are killer. And now their 2 sons are at the helm, which is super fun.
Another family winery, that's what we do here.
That's what we do. So the difference between the two, the first one that we're talking about is the dry Riesling.
And it's bone dry, right? So, I mean, there's almost no sugar. When I drink this is dry, like really crisp, really lean, super minerally.
Totally. And then the SPIESS, so this is, when we're talking about single vineyard specific wines, this is a great example, because this comes from the Geirsberg vineyard, which is one of the top vineyards of the village.
Okay.
So you can point your finger on the map, this is what you're drinking, where it's from, and it is done in the SPIESS style, so it has a little bit more sweetness to it, but saying that, it's really well balanced.
Yeah, and alcohol too. If you ever want a little trick for finding out how dry a wine is from Germany, typically the higher the alcohol, the drier the wine. So if you see something at 7 or 8, or in this case 9.5%, typically it means they've left some of the sugar unfermented. So this one, they've pretty much fermented all the sugar out, so you get in a really nice, crisp, light, like lean, minerally style. And this, you get a little bit of the sweetness, but not sweetness in a bad way.
No, in a great way.
I always think it's funny how people always want to say they like dry wine and never sweet wine. And then when you pour it, they're like, except that one, I really like that one.
Totally, it's the favorite.
Because when you get in your glass, it's like there's an aversion to sweetness almost that people have, where they think, if I like sweet wine, I'm less sophisticated. But that's not true. Everybody likes ice cream, and that's sweet.
That's pretty awesome.
This smells amazing, by the way.
Oh my gosh, these wines are so great. They're so refreshing. This one's so bright and crisp and clean, and
they're completely different. But as much as I love this for that like really lean sort of mineral style, this is spectacular. There's an obvious difference here. So you're not going to tell me these are the same price, are you?
I'm sorry, they're not.
I didn't think so.
But still great value. The dry Riesling is $24.95, and the single vineyard is $42.95. So we're talking single vineyards in Burgundy.
Could you put that away a while, though?
Yeah, absolutely. You could go, oh gosh, what would you say, 10, 15?
That smells like a wine of serious pedigree. There's so much complexity in the nose. If you don't have anything going on Friday or Saturday, come down and stick your nose in this, because this is like one of the greatest smelling wines I think we've had open in a long time.
I love those
Can't put
wines
it
where
down.
you just want to keep smelling
I'm
them
gonna finish
before
these.
you even taste them. And like that's a sign of a great wine.
We're going to be on different bottles by the weekend, because I think we're going to have drunk through these by then.
By lunchtime today,
We
which is
don't-
coming up.
We don't get a lot of red wine from Germany. Why is that?
Maybe they drink it all?
I don't know. It's suspicious, isn't it? I mean, they don't make as much red wine because typically you're going to be in the south of Germany if you're getting reds, where it's a little warmer, right? Because Germany's a cooler climate, so it's easier to ripen white grapes than it is to make red wine. So here we're in the Rheinhessen, which is an area I love and an area we don't see a ton of wines from. So what are we looking? Pinot Noir is always a little more expensive, so what are we looking at for this one?
$29.95.
It's a
So an
good-
under 30 Pinot Noir can be super hard to find these days, especially if we're talking California or Burgundy, of course.
Yeah, absolutely.
And the other thing, it's known as Spätburgunder in Germany, which is super fun to say, and you'll look really smart if you show up with that at a dinner party and are like,
You'll be like,
it's
yeah.
Pinot.
Actually, it's Pinot. I know a few things.
Yeah.
I've been shopping at Market Wines.
Exactly.
This smells so good. This really smells, it's not your typical American style of Pinot Noir where it's really like big and overripe, but it's doesn't remind me of Burgundy either. It's kind of its own thing.
It's its
isn't
own
it?
thing. It's really floral.
It's really aromatic. It's really elegant.
Mm-hmm.
What would you do food-wise with this guy?
Ooh, I'd probably go something a little bit lighter, maybe a pork tenderloin,
Yeah,
or veal
yeah.
with just some fresh herbs.
It's
I wouldn't
super
go anything
summery.
too heavy.
I like the temperature on this one. It's a little cooler right now,
Mm-hmm.
but it's
perfect.
it's got a lot of spice. You knew it was coming.
Again?
Okay, I love that. That's an amazing buy for Pinot Noir. We're always looking for great value Pinot Noirs. They're super hard to find. It's great that we've got a few options actually in Germany right now. So if you like your German reds, we probably have a better selection than we've ever had before. So come on down this weekend and spice it up with us.
See you.